Greetings, one and all, and welcome to episode number 62 of Thoughts and Hunches, making money in bunches and sucker punches. Your boy Stony is back for the 62nd time, and I'd like to welcome my fellow hoodlums, lowlifes, scumbags, cheats, hustlers, fienders, degenerates, and you're back for season 2, episode number 29. That's right, it's March Madness time. We just finished off another solid week, 14-9 in conference tournament week. That got everything going, and 60.87% last week, right? So those are our numbers for the NCAA postseason. We finished the NCAA regular season at 60.9%, so right around there, right? So now the big dance is starting. The first 4 games just ended. Notre Dame just beat Rutgers to advance to the first round because the first 4 is now over, and now everything has a line. So now I can post the video. Had to wait until Las Vegas got a lineup there for Notre Dame, Alabama, which will take place on Friday. Quick programming note, next video will come out Friday. It will have to come out Friday after the games have ended, and I will give you the picks for the Sweet 16, for the round of 32, which will be played on Saturday and Sunday. So I will give you those. Then next week, again, Wednesday and Friday. So 2 videos this week, 2 videos next week. So today, we're going to go quick. I'm going to get through these 32 games in the next 2 days. 16 tomorrow, 16 on Friday. And I'm giving you totals on all 32 games. So that's 64 picks. Can't go wrong there. Y'all ready? Well, yeah. I mean, overall for the season, before we get to that, 60.81%, 537 wins, 346 losses, 3 pushes. That's good for 60.81%. That is just under 900 picks that I've given you for free and hit at just under a 61% clip. Want to get over that at the end of the tournament. The first couple rounds, this is kind of the time, because as the tournament wears on, the lines get tighter, the lines get tougher, and the picks get harder. Definitely, as the books know what they're doing. But anyway, you're going to notice a trend here going into the first weekend, or the first round. So here we go. First round picks starting starting Thursday, tomorrow, 12:15 p.m. South Region, Stoneynapolis, Indiana. 6 seed Colorado versus 11 seed Michigan. Michigan's a 1.5 point favorite as an 11 seed. I like Colorado State. Yes, we're going to go quickly. I'm not going to break these down. I don't really have time. It's close to midnight here, and I've got to be up in 5 hours, and I still have to post this video before you all start losing your minds. So, got to get these in. I'm just going to give them to you quick. We're going to start with Colorado State plus 1.5 and over 136.5. That's the first game. We move on 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time. The Midwest region, Buffalo, New York. The 4th seeded Providence is a 2.5 point favorite over 13th seed South Dakota State. I'm going to take South Dakota State plus the 2.5, and I'm going to take under 48.5. 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. West region, Portland, Oregon. Yes, sorry. I got a little tongue-tied there. Number 9 seed Memphis is a 3 point favorite over 8 seeded Boise. I'm going to take Boise plus the 3. That's the 3rd straight dog to start. I also like over 134 in this one. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, East region, Fort Worth, Texas. Number 1 Baylor, 20.5 point favorites over 16th seeded Norfolk State. I'm going to take Norfolk State, the MEAC champs, who've won 9 out of 10. For some strange reason, I like them. Baylor, 20.5, without Jonathan Chamwa Chachua. It's going to be a game played by guards, and Norfolk State has them. So does Boise, or Baylor, and Baylor wins easily, but Norfolk covers. Give me the 20.5. 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, Stoneynapolis, Indiana. Tennessee, number 3 seeded Tennessee versus I really screwed that one up. Number 3 seed Tennessee versus number 14 seed Longwood. Tennessee 17.5 point favorites. I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm going to lay the lumber in this one. Big number to lay, but Tennessee cruised to the SEC championship, won every single game in blowout fashion. Longwood has won 19 out of 20 and won the Big South, but they're in for it here against Tennessee. Tennessee rolls. 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time, Midwest region, Buffalo, New York. 5th seeded Iowa is a 10.5 point favorite over 12th seeded Richmond. I'm going to take Richmond in this one and take the points at 10.5. They won the A10 tournament, and Iowa is a very trendy pick for a lot of people. A lot of talking heads, a lot of experts are picking Iowa to go to move far in advance. Iowa's going to win this game, but Richmond's going to give them all they can handle. So I'm going to take the Spiders plus 10.5 and under 150.5. 4:15 Eastern Time, West Region, Portland, Oregon. Number 1 Gonzaga, 22.5 point favorites over 16th seeded Georgia State. 22.5 points. Huge number. The Zags have won 12 out of 13. Their only loss was the St. Mary's, but they won the WCC tournament. Georgia State won the Sun Belt Championship. They won 6 straight. I like Georgia State with all those points. Too many points for the Zags to overcome. And I'm going to take under 49.5, even though the Zags are the number 1 scoring team in the country. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, East Region, Fort Worth, Texas. Number 8, North Carolina, 3.5 point favorites. Over 9th seeded Marquette. I like Marquette here, plus the 3.5. And I like under 152.5. 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time, West Region, Buffalo, New York. 5th seeded UConn, 6.5 point favorites over 12th seeded New Mexico State. UConn is practically a home game for them, playing this game in Buffalo, even though they're in the West region, but whatever, it is what it is. I like New Mexico State. The Aggies here, 6.5 point dogs. I'll take them all in that one, and I'll take over 131.5. 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, East Region, Stoneynapolis, Indiana. 2nd seeded Kentucky, 17.5 point favorites over 15 seed St. Pete. UK is rolling. UK is 17.5 point chalk. I like UK. I actually have them in my bracket, if people still do brackets anymore. But I have them in my bracket to go to the Final Four. They win this game and they win it easily, but they don't cover. I'm going to take St. Peter's plus 17.5. Winners of the Metro Atlantic Athletic. 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time, East Region, Portland, Oregon. Yeah, Portland in the East. 5th seeded St. Mary's, 2.5 point favorites over Indiana, who's a 12 seed. Indiana won the other night in the first 4 to sneak in, so they're in. Now they got to play the Gales. I like St. Mary's. I'm going to lay the 2.5. 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time, Midwest Region. San Diego State minus 2.5 is an 8 seed versus 9th seeded Creighton. This has all the makings. This is going to be a good matchup, and it's going to be slow. Teams will be walking it up. The first team to 50 wins this game, because I don't think either team touches 60. So either way, I'm going to take SDSU, take San Diego State, lay the 2.5, and take under 119.5. Yes, I don't care, 119.5. That's how low the total is, but it doesn't matter because neither one of those teams scores, and neither one of those teams pushes tempo. 9:20 p.m. Eastern Time, West Region, Buffalo, New York. Number 4 seeded Arkansas, 4.5 point favorites over 13 seed Vermont. Not necessarily a home game for Vermont, but they'll have plenty of fans there in Buffalo. They've won 22 out of 23. Vermont is red hot. They're the American East Championships. They're experienced, but Arkansas, J.D. Note's a superstar, and they've won 17 out of 20. I'm going to take the Hogs, lay the 4.5. And I'm going to take under 139.5. 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. East Region, Stoneynapolis, Indiana. 7th seed Murray State, 2.5-point favorites over 10th seed San Francisco. I like Murray State here. Most people would think I would go for USF. It's hard. I'm going to be pulling for USF, but I'm actually betting on Murray State. Just got breaking news that it's not really a surprise, but Freddie Freeman's going to the Dodgers. You know what? I'm just so done. Oh, man. The humanity of it all. Anyway, Murray State minus 2.5, under 136.5. 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Portland, Oregon, East Region. Number 4 seed UCLA, 13.5-point chalk over 13 seed Akron, the winners of the MAC. I like UCLA here. I'm going to lay the 13.5. They're going to lock them down on defense, and because of that, I'm going to take under 128.5. 9:57 p.m. Eastern Time, the last game of the night on Thursday, Midwest region, Fort Worth, Texas. Number 1 seeded Kansas is 21.5-point favorites over 16 seed Texas Southern. I like Texas Southern here. They won the SWAC. They won Tuesday night in impressive fashion over Texas A&M CC in the first 4 play-in game. Kansas is Kansas. They're going to win. They're going to win easily, and the back door will be left wide open for Texas Southern to come through. So give me all 21.5 of those, and I'm going to take over 144.5. So that's it. Those are all 16 plays for Thursday. Now we move on to Friday. Here's Friday's game starting at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 7th seeded Ohio State is 1.5-point favorites over 10th seeded Loyola Chicago. Ohio State is just playing like dog shit right now. They've lost 4 out of 5. They're struggling. This is Loyola Chicago's time of year. It's what they do. They won the Missouri Valley Championship. Again, they're 1.5-point dogs here. I'm going to take Loyola Chicago. And I'm not a fan of Sister Jeans. I think she gets too much run. She gets way too much press, but doesn't matter. Ramblers win this one and win it outright. Plus, I'm going to take under 132.5. 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time, Midwest region, Greenville, South Carolina. 2nd seeded Auburn from the SEC is 15.5-point favorites over Atlantic Sun regular season champion Jacksonville State, who's a 15 seed. Now remember, Jacksonville State only got into this tournament because they won the regular season. Bellarmine actually won the Atlantic Sun tournament, but because they're transitioning to Division I, they're not eligible yet for the tournament, so they gave it to Jacksonville State, who had a great year. But Jacksonville State, I'm going to take the points, 15.5. I like Auburn, but Auburn didn't play well down the stretch. Jacksonville State got a second life after they were knocked out in the Atlantic Sun tournament, but they're in. I'm going to take them plus the 15.5, and I'm going to take under 139.5. Moving on, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time, West Region, San Diego, California. 3rd seeded Texas Tech, 15.5-point favorites over 14th seed Montana State. Out of the Big Sky, they won the Big Sky Conference tournament, and Montana State's been playing well. They're hot, but Texas Tech has way too much and way too much defense. I'm going to lay the 15.5 and take the Red Raiders. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, East Region, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Yale versus Purdue. Purdue's the 3 seed. They're 15.5-point favorites over 14th seeded Yale. I like Yale here. I'm going to take all those points. Purdue's good. Purdue's going to win, and Purdue's going to win easily. But Yale can shoot, and Yale doesn't turn the ball over. Give me Yale, the Ivy League champs, and 15.5. And I'm going to take over 142.5. 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Second seeded Villanova from the Big East, 15.5-point favorites over Delaware. Delaware from winners of the CAA. They played well. They played really well down the stretch and earned their spot. But they're in serious trouble here. Nova, this is their time of year. Nova, keep in mind, they've won 2 national championships in the last 6 years. I like Nova. Lay the 15.5. This one could get ugly. 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time, Midwest region, Greenville, South Carolina. Number 7, USC from the Pac-12. 1.5-point favorites over ACC and 10th seeded Miami. This has the makings of a really good game. SC's a 1.5-point favorites. I like the Canes. I'm going to take the Canes plus the 1.5 and over 139.5. 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time, West Region, Alabama from the SEC, 6-seeded and 7-point favorites over Notre Dame, who's 11-seeded. Just saw Notre Dame beat Rutgers in double OT here. I like Notre Dame. I like the way they're playing. Give me those points. Bama wins. Notre Dame covers, and I'm going to take under 134. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, East Region, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Number 6 seed Texas from the Big 12 is 1.5-point favorites over 11th seed Virginia Tech from the ACC, the winners of the ACC conference tournament. Virginia Tech wasn't going to get into the tournament, but they snuck in by winning the ACC tournament, got hot down the stretch, played really well. Texas struggled down the stretch, which is why I like Texas. I think the ACC is not very good. I've been down on them all year, so I got to go against the ACC champion here and give me Texas. Lay the 1.5 and take over 123.5. Moving on, 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 4 seeded Illinois, 7.5-point favorites over 13th seed Chattanooga out of the Southland. They won the Southland Conference with a buzzer beater from just inside half court. They played really well down the stretch, but I like Illinois here. Illinois got bounced pretty early by Indiana in the Big Ten tournament, even though they were the number 1 seed in the rough and tumble Big Ten. But I like Illinois. Give me the Illini and lay the 7.5. 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, West Region, Greenville, South Carolina. Duke, 2nd seeded Duke is 18.5-point favorites over 15th seed Cal State Fullerton, who won the Big West Championship by beating Long Beach State the other day. Duke, on the other hand, didn't play well against Carolina to close out the season, didn't play well in the ACC tournament, but Duke is Duke. They're on TV more than Leave It to Beaver reruns. Give me Duke, minus 18.5. And give me under 146. Moving on, 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time, Midwest Region, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 6 seed LSU from the SEC. What? How the hell did they get into the tournament? LSU? Are you freaking kidding me? They have no business in the tournament. They fired their coach and their assistant coach. They have no coaching. They have no confidence. They played like dog shit. Doesn't matter who they're playing. Take Iowa State plus the 4.5 of the 11 seed from the Big 12. Iowa State didn't play well down the stretch either. This is a battle of 2 teams. Whoever wins is going to get blasted in the second round. But I'm going to take Iowa State plus 4.5 because LSU's dog shit. 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, San Diego. Number 1 seed Arizona from the Pac-12, winners of the Pac-12 regular season, winners of the Pac-12 championship, 22.5-point favorites over 16th seed Wright State, who won the Horizon. I'm going to take Wright State plus 22.5. It's a big number. Zona wins, and Zona wins easily, but give me Wright State at all those points. 9:20 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 5th seeded Houston, 8.5-point favorites, the winners of the American Athletic Conference tournament, regular season and tournament, versus 12th seeded UAB, the winners of the Conference USA tournament. Houston's 8.5-point favorites. Houston's a better team. I like UAB a lot. I like what they stand for. I like the way they're playing, but Houston's just too much. Lay the 8.5, take the Cougars, and take under 136.5. Oh, and by the way, I don't think I gave you the total for Arizona Wright State. That's under 155.5. Moving on, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time, West Region, Greenville, South Carolina. 7th-seeded Michigan State, 1.5-point favorites over 10th-seeded Davidson from the Atlantic 10. Davidson dominated the Atlantic 10, but then they lost in the A10 tournament, so they got in with an at-large bid. Michigan State, on the other hand, didn't play too well. Hasn't played well all season, but they're 1.5-point favorites and still wound up with a 7 seed because they played in the rough and tumble Big Ten. Give me Michigan State, give me the Spartans, lay the 1.5 and take over 140.5. 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time, Midwest Region, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Number 3 seeded Wisconsin out of the Big Ten is 7.5-point favorites over Patriot League champion Colgate, the 14 seed. I like Colgate plus 7.5. They can fill it up. They shoot really well from downtown, and plus 7.5. Wisconsin's going to try to slow the pace down. Colgate, doesn't matter. They're going to do what they do. Give me the points, plus 7.5 and under 139.5. Final game of the first round, 9:57 p.m. Eastern Time, South Region, San Diego. 8th-seeded Seton Hall from the Big East is 1.5-point favorite over 9th-seed TCU from the Big 12. I like TCU in this one, plus 1.5. Seton Hall didn't play well down the stretch. TCU didn't play well down the stretch, but I'm going to take the Horned Frogs here and plus 1.5 and take under 130.5. So that's it. There you go. Just like that, I just ripped off 64 plays for you. Is that enough? So out of 64 picks, right, we're going to try for 37 wins. All right, 37 and 27 gets us over 55%. 38 wins. Anything above 38 wins is a really, really, really good first day. So, or first 2 days. So that's what we're shooting for. Anything above 37 wins. And just remember, the next video is coming out on Friday night. It'll be out late, kind of like this one. So if you don't see it Friday night, look for it Saturday morning before the games start. It will definitely be there. And yeah, that's it. So just remember that if you want to win big, you got to bet big. Scared money don't make money. To me, the action is the juice. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you.